Oh yeah, the Moss Party won in a landslide victory in a similar to a similar fashion to what occurred in the last election before the coup. Essentially, you saw the early vote went to mostly the you know U.S. backed
Uh-huh.
Bolivian government. Essentially, they won the first about, if you look at the first like 20% of votes, they had a fat lead, and then all of the indigenous base Moss, it takes longer to count their votes. This is the same thing that occurred this time. However, fortunately, there were third parties involved that were basically doing exit polling and saying no, like we're going to call it. And then what I forget the name of the woman that's in power that they institute, the woman that they put in power, the current like president.
Her last name is Anyez, right?
Yeah, I can't remember either way. She was the person that was installed after the coup that forced Evo Morales to flee to Mexico in what was it? Was it late October, early November of last year?
About exactly a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, and they kept putting off the election until essentially the people of Bolivia just shut down cities and demanded that the elections occur. But yeah, it was an overwhelming, dramatic repudiation of the U.S.-backed government and regime, and definitely a win for the Bolivian people.
Indeed, yeah, they literally did have to shut down the, I believe, capital city of Bolivia to basically force this democratic election to be had, because the current government that was basically the result of the coup, was pushing back this election over and over and over again because they knew that they were, going to lose. Of course, the government of Evo Morales had been in power for a while, but after he exited and the new government was taking power, people quickly realized that they preferred the socialism of the Morales government. And of course, that's reflected in these results. Over 50% on the first round of voting went to the MAS party.
Yeah. And it was essentially like a junta government, you know what I mean, that had been instilled for the past year, and they brutalized the Bolivian protesters while they demanded that their elections be held. Multiple demonstrators were shot dead in the streets, demanding democracy. So this is what, and as always, the United States, while voicing a free, this unparalleled love for free election, was on the side of the, coup, on the side of the junta military government, and the Giannine, whatever her name, I don't know how to pronounce this woman's name. The Giannine Anyez, I think is her name.
And her successor is Carlos Mesa. That's who was kind of the people were voting on to.
Yes, yeah, because she wasn't on the ballot, but it's the same corporate party. They want to extract lithium from the and open it up to foreign national companies to exploit the resources of the country and leave nothing for the people there.
Yeah, because Evo Morales had actually nationalized the country's lithium, making it so that countries like the United States could not basically just come in and extract the resources.
He was also the region's first indigenous president.
Indeed. So he was really one of the a great leader basically in that part of the world, and proof that more socialistic, humanistic policies are actually popular. He was elected for 3 terms, and now his successor has been elected in a landslide victory. Something else that this article over here points out that is interesting too is that basically all of the major news networks, the AP, CNN,
BBC,
Bloomberg, they basically have failed to call this what it was, which was a coup. Bloomberg failed to use the word at all, which is not surprising. AP referenced it, but instead described it as a police and military leaders suggesting Morales leave, which is
what the fuck are you like? That's so obvious what's happening right here. They suggested, we suggest you stop being president. Oh, I'm going to agree to that without the threat of violence.
I think this article really says it best. They say it takes great linguistic skill to refrain from using by far the most appropriate word to describe events in Bolivia for what they are, a coup. Indeed, the linguistic gymnastics necessary to avoid using the word would be genuinely impressive were they not an exercise and deceit and manufacturing consent for regime change, which is beautifully put. And
who wrote this piece? We should shout them out.
That's a great point. This piece is by Alan McLeod.
Shout out Alan McLeod. That was a dang piece.
Yeah, this is a really solid reporting on the issue. And, this, of course, is not getting covered a ton on, the mainstream news networks, if at all. I don't think that your average citizen probably has much of a, idea what's going on here, not because they don't care, but just because they're not being informed by these very news networks, which are, underplaying and kind of misreporting.
Maybe if you follow Elon Musk on Twitter, you were like, I think we're up to some shady shit in Bolivia.
Yeah, that was a really bizarre moment from this year when Elon Musk basically kind of low-key admitted, that he was, if not orchestrating, then at least, somewhat sympathetic, I guess, to this coup, which, of course, is extracting lithium.
We'll coup whoever we want or something like that, I believe was what he tweeted.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of Elon Musk, I did see the funniest fucking tweet ever yesterday. I think I sent it to you. Seth Rogen had tweeted out that he was going to start a podcast called The Seth Rogen Experience. And the first response was somebody being like, your first guest. And it was Elon Musk hitting the blunt. And he was just like, no fucking narcs.
That's funny. That's funny, dude. Seth Rogen's a homie.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's a good guy.
I was like, that was hilarious. I love anybody that roasts Elon Musk in a big public forum. Seth Rogen has had some of the most hilarious Twitter moments in his entire that I've seen. Like, as I said before, I'm not somebody that's on Twitter, and I have like moments of like Seth Rogen's like Twitter and like embedded in my brain. Like after he saw after he saw American Sniper. Do you remember that?
I don't.
You know the movie Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
There's that that movie called Nation's Pride. And it's the movie where they like glorify the Nazi sniper. And he literally walks out of American Sniper's premiere in Hollywood and he tweets, he was like, why do I feel like I just watched a showing of Nation's Pride?
So true, though. And further proof of what I was referencing about Clint Eastwood's slide into, degenerate conservative bullshit.
Yeah. I forgot he directed that movie.
Yeah.
With Bradley Cooper.
He's directed a lot of weird movies with questions.
Bradley Cooper, started to take his career way more in a Mark Wahlberg direction.